The opinions expressed in this show are solely the opinions of the speaker and do not reflect the opinion of RFR or any affiliates.
Radio Free Radio. Radio Free Radio.
Radio Free Radio.
You have meddled with the primal forces of nature, Mr. Beale, and I won't have it. Is that clear? You are an old man who thinks in terms of nations and peoples. There are no nations. There are no peoples. There are no nations. There are no empires. There are no third worlds. There is no West. There is only one holistic system of systems. One vast and immense, interwoven, interacting, multivariate, multinational dominion of dollars. Petrol foods, electro-funds, multi-dollars, rank marks, rims, rubles, pounds, and shekels. It is the international system of currency which determines the totality of life on this planet. That is the natural order of things today.
Hey, everybody. What's up? It's Ron.
And Don?
All right, man. So we got everything working. We're good. We got this.
We got it. We hope so. If not, let us know somehow.
Yeah. Hey, man. We got ways to hit you up. This is Ron to the Hills, baby. Coming to you on Radio Free Radio or over on the YouTube channel.
Back into the super secret spy cave.
Yeah, it's going to be dark and scary tonight, man. But I mean,
and sweaty.
it's getting a little scary. The world's getting scary, man. What's
Yes, it is.
happening right now,
yes,
man?
It is. It is getting scary.
All right, so you wanna call in? We got the phones back. It's 757-848-5920.
Or
On the Skype, we got Ronnie.Hills too. Or what the hell is that number?
we have another number for you guys.
I actually
Call,
forgot
Which
it.
is better audio, but woo. Okay.
325-757-325-4510.
Bang. There it is.
Dang. Give us a call on the Skype. I didn't actually forget it. I just wanted you to think
You
that.
wanted me to sweat.
Man, I'm sorry that I've been unprepared. All right? I'm going to go ahead and give you
Well,
full credits on this show.
Let's just go ahead. Well, let's go ahead and.
I mean, I'm reading through the trailer, though,
The
man.
elephant in the room, dude.
Pokemon Go.
No.
Oh, man.
No.
That's the biggest one in the room.
Your boy.
My boy?
Your boy.
He ain't my boy no more, man. I'm just gonna straight up and say that. I understand. So Bernie Sanders went ahead and endorsed Hillary Clinton.
And he looked very sick to his stomach when he did it, I might add.
Yeah. I don't think he really wanted to do that.
Could it be, or could it just be part of the game? Is he the left side's Ted Cruz?
I mean, think about this one. Just 2 weeks ago, maybe not even 2 weeks ago, maybe a week ago, Hillary Clinton made the FBI bow down to her.
Yeah.
I mean,
But here's the thing. Comey, it turns out, he was president of this bank, right? See? That
What?
was laundering money for the Clinton Foundation. So.
and it goes
Ding, ding,
deeper.
Ding, 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 ding.
It's not just the emails.
No. This whole thing isn't even about the emails.
The
It's about
emails
what was in the
are
emails
the
and
tip of
about
the
how
iceberg.
she is using this
The
foundation.
network. Let's just start calling it the network. Let's stop calling it the Illuminati and start calling it the network so that when we see these people together, we know who they are and we can group them together. Jesus Christ. I feel like a curse has just been placed on me. Why would you play that clip, man? I'm so damn, man. How... What circumstances...
Back it up.
Listen.
Before we get too far into
No,
it, man.
okay, it happened. Bernie fucking bowed down. But I have a question to ask you.
Okay.
What kind of circumstances do you think it would have taken for Ron Paul to actually back down for Mitt Romney? Or John McCain?
I don't know.
Like, to me, that's the tipping point. Because I don't really see, after what Bernie did and that kind of stage presence in the movement that he built, I don't actually see him as being a fake figure. And I didn't see Ron Paul as being a fake figure. That's why I was drawn to both of them. But
I don't know. I just feel like, we already had this conversation.
this is amazing. Yeah, we had the conversation off air, but let's have it on air. I mean, really think about the circumstances it would have needed to take for Paul to bow down.
I don't really know, man. I don't know what his tipping point would be. Because, listen, Ron Paul never did that, ever.
I know, but
So, like, you know,
That's what blows
Bernie
my mind.
Sanders has on 2 separate occasions we know of.
Yeah.
The toxic waste and
Yeah.
the
He bowed down
audit
to
of
Bush
Fed.
on that one.
The audit of the Fed where he bowed down to Wall Street.
Yeah, he kind of. I mean, I'm saying that's why I could never be a politician, because if I was a politician, somebody would put me into a room and say, it's in the best interest of somebody in your life to not do this. I'm not going to say who it is. I'm not going to say what's going to happen. I'm just saying it's in your best interest. Here's a 25 million, random number out there to sell your soul. And I'm sure Bernie Sanders got paid off. It's how it always goes, man. They're getting something out of the deal. Do you think he gets the vice presidency out of this?
No, absolutely not.
Why not? I think Hillary.
You know, I think if it is a deal, it's probably most likely going like he gets to live, or his family gets to live, or they won't completely implode the market.
See, that part right there. Because if you look at what happened with Brexit, the market, they were just like, yeah, we're going to crash the
Yeah,
market.
they can crash the market at any time they feel like.
Yep. But all right. So there's no way you're saying Bernie gets the nod for the vice.
No.
Do you think he gets like leader of the House or the Senate?
No, I think he's done.
You think he's done? You think he just
I
packs
think
his
he's
bag
done.
and go home?
Because not only is he getting up there in age, right? So I'm feeling that retirement time was coming anyway for this guy. But listen to this. He just fucking pissed off a big, decent chunk of his base. So
Yeah.
who the fuck gives a fuck about Bernie Sanders anymore?
Yeah.
Right?
The pain in the ass was like, I seen it coming. I knew it was going to happen because I knew it was too good to be true. But here's the bitch things. Like, what they just did was Hillary drove any potential Bernie to Trump people right on over there.
Right.
Even like they'll look past what they said because
when I
they
found-
won't vote for the lady who made their hero bow down.
Look, I'm not like friends with a million people in the social medias or anything, but what I've seen is it seems like more of the Bernie people are jumping on with Johnson than going to Trump. Because I mean, obviously, Trump,
yeah, but see,
it's just another.
the biggest flaw against Trump against Johnson is like he's not going to get the electoral college votes necessary. It's just what the electoral college does right now. We haven't even looked at that issue as a country.
Right. I mean, I don't have any. I'm not entertaining any wild fantasies of Gary Johnson getting elected president.
I kind of am.
I'm not. It's
I'm
not
feeling.
gonna
I'm
happen.
feeling the Johnson. Hashtag feel the Johnson.
The thing about Johnson with me, like I said before, is it's giving the Libertarian Party, like them or not, their chance to get on the national stage and
I agree.
compete against the Democrats and the Republicans. Now, as long as they
Yep.
can keep their party from falling into the same thing that.
Well, no. The craziest part, and the part that lets me in that like they'll eventually get bought out too, is because they let a guy like John McAfee, and offhand I
Well,
can.
On the other hand, you got a guy like Gary Johnson, which is probably one of the worst libertarian candidates. He's not. He's definitely more Republican than he is libertarian. He's like a weed smoking Republican. You know what I mean? Like, and
Is
then
that the entire issue? On a fiscal policy level.
No. I mean, it's not as extreme as I'm making it out to be, but he definitely isn't. I mean, they voted for him, but it's because people know the name. He's been running for president since 2008 at least.
Yeah.
And he ran as a Republican in 2008. But he had to get out because Ron Paul was running. There's no chance for Gary Johnson. Yeah, no.
Yeah, but see, okay, so now that's where Ron Paul and his son Rand Paul, they're kind of being smart about it. And the thing that triggers me to them is they stay in the Republican Party. It's like if they really wanted liberty, they would not have the Republican Party be like one of 2-tier tickets.
No,
Like-
I feel what you're saying for Rand. Ron actually ran for president as a libertarian in '88, but
Okay.
he decided that the Republican Party would be the best vehicle to get his message out. Because obviously, especially in 1988, I mean, come on.
Well, I mean, same with Bernie. Like, Bernie's independent. Let's not forget that.
And he also has stated that he's a Republican. I mean, obviously, he holds different values of what that means.
You mean
But to
Ron Paul, right?
Ron Paul, yeah.
Okay.
He's a Christian guy. He's a decent dude. I mean, he is not militant Christian. He's not pushing anything. He understands, the role of government concerning those things. Stay the fuck out of it, right?
I mean, I can't disagree with that. I can't.
So
I can't disagree with
wouldn't.
it.
I wouldn't feel like alarmed that him. His son, on the other hand, though, this guy is a total sneaker.
What
What's
makes
the
you
first
say
thing? He endorsed Romney, for one.
Ugh.
Okay, he's
Ugh.
a secret on the slide warhawk, dude.
Yeah.
like totally. And
Wait,
his
wait.
filibusters, it's junk. I mean,
Who-
come on, man.
Who does he want to go to war with though? Because he seems
At
like
the time, it was Iran.
okay.
So it doesn't matter. He's just you know what I mean? He seems like he'd be like, yeah, fuck it, let's do this. Like, I may even see Rand Paul. Like, I don't trust that he would obey the Constitution and not go to war without a declaration from Congress.
Well, they don't need it anymore, man. Congress gave that power to, yeah.
They still need it.
I
They
mean,
just don't do it no more.
they
They
just
don't need
don't.
it because
Yeah.
nobody calls them on the shit.
No, they don't need it because Congress gave them that power.
Yeah. And nobody called them on the shit. They're not supposed to have the fucking power.
We didn't call them on it.
We called them on it, but what are we?
We're the people that vote for the people that vote on this shit, man. We're like 2 steps behind.
We're the people that vote for the people who vote for the people who vote on the shit. Get it right.
No, we vote for our senators. They go and vote on it, and then
We vote.
It goes,
no,
right?
No. We vote for the Electoral College.
do
and
we?
Then
There's no way we vote for the Electoral
we
College.
vote for delegates.
Okay, you're talking on a state
So
level.
they go and
Okay.
vote for us, and then we
Yeah.
vote for someone who votes for someone to vote for us.
Yeah, but I'm thinking about it from like a perspective of just the average American citizen. Like, because the level you're talking about of getting deep into politics where you start becoming a delegate and you understand the way that people move up in the party, and that system has come a long way. Even Trump's admitted it before. He's like, back in the 40s and 50s, these protesters, these people, they would have been taken out back and beaten or shot. I mean, it's just kind of the reality of it. Stop doing that.
Stop
to our
it,
listeners.
Hillary Clinton.
You
Stop
fucking
it.
Evil
Stop
broad.
laughing at the evil.
I mean, so Gary Johnson, I mean, but on the other end, like, the Bernie supporters, I feel like, are going to go Jill Stein. And they're going to get her name out there, which is also important, too, because a 4-system party is even better than a
Man,
3-system
I
party.
really see it's going to be a nice mix. It's not. There's going to be some that go to Hillary, no doubt.
Yeah.
Some are going to go to Johnson. Some might even go to Trump.
Dude, I'm telling you, a lot more of, and this is where I think Hillary's stance on it is going to be like, well, if I name Bernie my vice president, I get elected because, okay, at least like 70% of Bernie supporters stick with him and vote Hillary because they think the bottom line is it's better than Trump at this point. Like, honestly, man, think about that.
Well, here's the thing. If you believe that Bernie Sanders was dangerous and they were never going to let him be president,
From their perspective, right?
from their perspective, why would you let him be vice president? Because then what happens if some lunatic, God forbid, whacks off Hillary
Do
Clinton?
you actually think that's going to happen? I think
don't
Hillary
know.
Clinton is one of
I don't
those
know.
figures that is untouchable. I think she is the type of
Dude,
person that
nobody's
and-
untouchable.
No,
she
I'm
could just
like,
up and die of natural causes, too,
No,
man.
no. The only way somebody is touching her is if somebody higher than her touches her, and you and I know exactly what I mean by when I say that, because like somebody like her is going to have her day scheduled and planned out. Not only like planned out to this is what you're going to be at what time, but I'm talking like she's got the Secret Service out there just checking any spot out. Like no random Joe with a fucking sniper rifle. Or, I mean, it could be. If you look at what happened in Dallas, and we'll get to that one later, the citizens are becoming militarized. But the problem is that the citizens aren't united. So right now it's like you have random street gangs that are getting militarized. And I don't know if that's happening, but I mean, it's well within the realms of possibilities that somebody in some city like Detroit's using like old vacant buildings as war playgrounds. I mean, have you thought about that? Like, what happens if the citizens actually get together and, like, old colonels and commanders get out of the military and start forming their own military? Isn't that kind of what the Second Amendment also says about, like, a well-maintained militia? Well-regulated militia. That's the word, is regulated. Just saying. Nothing? What's
No,
YouTube
sorry.
chat saying over here?
I don't know. I'm trying to get all that working. Go on, continue.
I'm just saying, like, so when the citizens become militarized, that's when it becomes an actual problem. Because if the citizens, if we have different goals, all it's going to do is cause, like, mass chaos. You know, this Pokemon Go thing, I can foresee, oh man, somebody lures somebody to a trap, and now somebody's getting taken out with an AR-15. That's the scariest side of that shit. But the upside is so awesome on that. And it could lead to us citizens getting militarized, especially if the police continue to get militarized. What kind of weapons do they have that we don't?
Who?
Think about that
The
one.
police? Oh my god,
Yeah.
man. They got military grade shit, dude.
Anybody got that, YouTube chat?
Yeah, I got it up.
Somebody got some military technology for me other than LRAD, the sonic cannon that
We just got norms. They're just trolling us as
Norms.
usual over there in the chat.
we love you guys in the chat.
We love you.
So I'm saying, but at this point now, man, it's Clinton versus Trump.
Clinton versus Trump.
There's
Is it really
there's
though?
honestly,
Is it really
like,
though? Isn't it really just pre-decided for us? in
I
the
mean,
end, man.
I mean, no, there's a big difference. Like,
Well, look, I'm not gonna say the fate is sealed. All right, things can happen, but there's nothing lower level that's gonna happen to change this.
let me
when
go
I
ahead.
say lower level, I mean in the hands of the people.
Yeah, but I'm saying if we, the people, like we got together and we were like, hey, let's actually start doing things to kind of protect us from doing this. Like, I'm dead serious. Everybody should go to Fort Monroe Authority right now and apply for a place outside there or inside there. Live inside the moat because that's probably the safest place to go.
Live in the moat.
I'm saying, man, we've got nuclear fallout shelters on every single corner.
Man, you want to do? What do you guys feeling? A little bit of news?
Man, I don't want to talk about this news. Three dead in the traffic jam here. Let's talk about this one.
Okay,
man.
yeah, we got some user submitted articles here.
Who submitted this?
I can't remember the email address.
Oh man. Well, shout out to the person that submitted this. We thank you for that. And we would actually like more of this. So if next time you do it, send us your name and let us know something about yourself. How'd you hear about the show?
This-
And we'll shout you out on the show. You got this one?
Yeah. 3-day traffic jam leads to 3 deaths. Deaths. All right, you think driving in Los Angeles during rush hour is bad? You should check out Indonesia. It took 3 days to travel 13 miles.
What?
I would have got out of my car and walked over there. There have been at least 12 casualties in Indonesia in a 13-mile long traffic jam. According to media reports, the tragedy occurred on the island of Java. On the road were trapped more than 1,000 drivers. Most of the deaths occurred at a junction called Breeby's Exit, referred to locally as Exit.
Wow.
As Brexit.
That's awesome. I mean, not awesome like that, but
it's just
yeah.
funny. Yeah. All right. Shut up. The deaths occurred between 3 and 5 July as people were heading home from celebrating Ramadan. Among the deceased, a few elderly people and a 1-year-old child. The child died of exhaust fumes. Yeah, man. 3 days? The main cause of death among the other deaths was complications of excessive fatigue and health problems. It is noted that the traffic jam was so dense that the doctors could not reach the victims, even on motorcycles. Cork is 12.4 miles long and was formed in the town of Breebies in central Java province. It is reported that thousands of people have recovered to celebrate the completion of Ramadan.
Wow. That's tremendously sad on one hand, but entirely like, how the fuck do you let this happen on the other?
I don't know, man. I don't have
I
a
mean,
whole lot
3
to say to
days.
that other than, man, 3 days?
I do.
Like,
I got a
did it-
question.
In 3 days.
What?
I mean,
How many times do you shit in 3 days? How many times do you take a piss in 3 days?
yeah, I mean, you sleeping in your car overnight?
Oh, man, what are you eating? Does your job
how
know
do
where
you
you're
eat?
at? Like, are you gonna
Yeah.
get fired?
Dude, I'm sorry if
Like, you go into work at day 4 and you're like, I'm sorry, I've been stuck in traffic for 3 days. Do you think your boss believes
ain't no
him?
car worth your baby's life. Just get out the car and go get
Yeah.
some food. You know what I'm saying? And more likely, it's still gonna be there.
So, Donald, I'm not a mechanic or anything. I don't really know much about cars, but, like, how does somebody die from exhaust fumes in a vehicle?
Well, man, if they had the windows down and there was like a bunch of, cause where were they at? Indonesia? Man,
Yeah.
CO2, carbon monoxide.
Okay.
So that
Jesus,
Yeah.
yeah. Man, I would have
mean,
taken
being so
yeah.
small, being such, you know what I mean?
I forgot, didn't take that one into consideration here. I'm getting told here that our YouTube live is broken. Anybody got that problem?
YouTube Live is broken.
Yeah. Somebody sent me a text message to my phone.
Oh, it seems as though that the event.
Did it end?
No, we're still streaming, but the link that was put out was incorrect. Sorry, guys.
Oh
There had to be
man.
some changes.
See, I'm over here on this Radio Free Radio YouTube channel, right?
Yeah, so just go in and jump onto the Radio Free Radio YouTube
I see the
channel.
Matt and Justin show from tonight.
Mhm.
Actually, that wasn't tonight. Today is the 13th. There's 4 people watching our show right now.
So just jump on over to the Radio Free Radio
Unforgivable.
YouTube channel. Click subscribe so you can find it again easily.
Yeah.
And then just find the live stream, jump on in there, you get the YouTube.
Listen, guys, just stick with us over here at Radio Free Radio. We're putting it together. It's coming together slowly.
Hey.
We got a dope show. I
So-
mean,
What
what-
was
what-
my train of thought? We were talking about the car accident.
yeah.
All right, sorry guys. That's
No.
always a part of the show is the
3
technical
days.
difficulties.
3 days in a car. Could never do it, man.
Uh.
I could not. Just couldn't do it.
Okay.
What we got next, man?
Man, dozens burned in Texas walking on hot coals at Tony Robbins seminar.
Oh, man, hold on. Before you get into this, before you read that there, I thought it was a lot different than what I'm seeing now. I thought it was like dozens were burned to death at this Tony Robbins seminar.
Man, basically 40 people got convinced to walk over hot coals at some self-help seminar.
How does that conversation go? You can walk across these coals.
You can do it if you believe.
If you God. believe,
everyone gets the trophy.
What the fuck, man? What?
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to spend a whole lot of time on it because, I mean, it's...
The 3-day seminar is intended to help people break through any limit and improve their quality of life, according to a description posted on Robbins' website. Let me tell you something, people. They gave me and Donald a microphone. Okay? They'll give anybody a mic.
We gave us a microphone.
That's true.
Well, technically, no. I guess Radio Free Radio.
You guys, these guys.
And we took it and was like, no, it's not. You
Yeah.
can't have it back.
We did do a couple shows from the house, and that was, you
What
know.
house? You mean the super secret
I mean
spy
the
location?
house. I don't mean any house.
The super,
I mean
super
the
secret
house.
spy location.
I'm saying it might be in the middle of Fort Monroe. I'm just saying. There's old barracks out there.
So as many as 40 people were injured after walking on hot coals as part of a self-help seminar hosted by motivational speaker Tony Robbins in Texas. Fire officials said on Friday. Okay, this is actually kind of old. This happened a few weeks ago. Attendees of the Unleash the Power Within event held at the Kay Bailey Hutchinson Convention Center in Dallas. Boy, man, people just go for anything nowadays, don't they? They reported burns to their feet and legs after 11 p.m. on Thursday. A lot of attendees were asked to walk across hot coals, and as a result, a lot of people sustained burn injuries. Well, what do you think is going to happen when you walk across? I mean, this reflects directly on like Bernie Sanders.
No, because you can walk across hot coals if you're going at a decent speed. If you're walking across them and stopping, because coal's not very good at like absorbing heat, you know. Like a coal's going to get really hot and then go away. So if you're just like, yep, not going to spend more than 2 seconds, like, hell, you spend less than half a second on a coal and you'll probably burn yourself.
I mean, it still just goes to like.
I'm
these
sure what
people
happened
get
here-
convinced to walk over hot coals.
Well,
man.
I'm sure what happened here was like too many people tried to walk across it at the same time.
Yeah, I guess that's.
How many people were at this damn thing?
40 people got injured, so a lot. Yeah, you might be right about that, man.
Jeez.
This one here we're gonna save for later because we're gonna introduce a new segment on Ron the Hills later on.
A new
And
segment.
it's gonna be Ron to the Hills reads Above Top Secret.
What?
Yeah.
I like this actually.
Yeah, this is gonna be great. All right, so
Let's do
what
it.
time we at?
We got 3 minutes.
So
Fuck the fourth wall, man.
okay, now this is interesting.
Which one? I feel like I want to talk about all these for a while.
Google quietly brings forgetting to the U.S. Okay. Stay with me here. Seeing all your Google activity in one place can be eye-opening, and having the ability to delete any of it carries some far-reaching implications. If you're worried about your online privacy, it might be of interest to you that Google has quietly brought to its Google Forget program to the U.S. It has made it quite simple, for the most part. Simply go to myactivity.google.com to see the history of your searches, YouTube viewing, and everything else you do on Google platforms, and then be guided through the process of trimming that history. But be careful. Privacy restrictions bring with them good and bad, and some consumers who become gung-ho about deleting activity may find the usefulness of their web surfing drop off. Oh, ads will become much more generic and annoying, as will searches and other web results. And other web research, excuse me. Your Chrome browser won't autofill URLs of your sites you often visit, and other background activities may become more difficult. It's all about the convenience, man. Also, the forgetting process can be painstaking. If you're going to be selective about what is forgotten, you'll have to review places you've visited and make deletions one at a time. If you want to clean up a lot of history, you'll need to clear your schedule first. But the process, even if you opt to not delete a thing, is eye-opening. Seeing every search you've performed and every site you've visited is a powerful wake-up call if you hadn't realized how much is retained.
I got to stop you right there. Do you know why I have to stop you right there?
Nope.
Because this is going to go into our next topic, which is now going to become Pokemon Go and the connection with Google and the connection with Hillary Clinton and the way that I'm telling you, man, I'm going to predict something big after this break.
Okay, well, we're not going to break.
We're not going to break.
We're
just
rough
going
riding.
We're
going
rough
to
riding?
go to break at the top of the
Here's
hour.
my prediction, man. There's going to be a fucking...
Whoa.
Listen.
Whoa, hold it for after.
Hold it for after
hold
the break?
Hold it for
All right.
Hold it. Hold it in. All right, let's do this.
Stop you right there, and we'll get back to this because actually this is very important. Google bought Niantic back. Let me go ahead and Google this one because you know Google's fucking everywhere.
Let me Google that about Google. Let me Google the dirt on Google. Wow.
I have
what
a
the fuck.
Off question. Do you think Google has a program where they profile people based on what they search?
Yeah, absolutely, man. Dude, all those drills, remember, this was years ago now, but they were running drills. They weren't live drills, though. What they were computer simulations where they took data and they would have people's, like, profiles and shit, and they would create a scenario, like, say, boots in the street, and see how areas would react to that.
Okay, so take that back. Niantic was actually a Google startup.
Oh.
So the company that makes Pokemon Go is Google by default.
Wow.
They broke away, they spun out and became independent, but we all know that when you're a subsidy...
Well, we know
you're a
who
fucking
Google's
subsidy.
buddy with, right?
Who would that be, Bernie?
No.
Yes, by de facto now, like...
Well, yeah, by de facto now, but they're
Is that- that's not
buddy
the
with
word.
the Clintons. So
Yep.
we know they're doing all that, man, what was that initiative? I bet you Phantom Spy will call in and let us know. That initiative where they're running around Reddit and everything and, like, deleting all the anti-Hillary stuff and putting all the, like, it was Clinton trolls, basically.
I mean, do you know about Reddit? Like,
Yeah.
do you know about Aaron Shorts, the guy who created
I
Reddit?
mean, I don't know. No, not really.
There was... Dude, so this guy creates this technology that can rival pretty much everything Google's doing computer-wise. They popped him on some BS. It was he downloaded too many files at MIT, and the feds got him on like some felony charges. They were throwing about 50 years at him in a fucking federal in prison. So he hung himself. The guy that created Reddit, the guy that created the RSS feed,
Right.
the guy that created every way that you can download files quickly and easily now. He did.
Wow.
He was actually like a very prominent hacker too. I don't actually know that deep into it. Hopefully somebody out there does. Maybe Phantom Spy does. But back to Google and Niantic. So Niantic, if you don't know anything about, are we not going to break here?
No, we're good, man. Let's do it.
Pokemon Go, man. Pokemon Go. I'm going to steal the spotlight on this one for
Go
a
ahead,
couple
dude.
days. I've been playing this game for like 3 days now. All right, so I'm kind of hooked. All it is you walk around with your phone active. You walk around with a Google map active. It's got landmarks based on data that they've crowdsourced. This is all crowdsourced shit, by the way. So if you're living in a town that doesn't have a lot of people and less people that use Ingress, you're not going to have very much to do in that town when it comes to the game. You need people in your area to create activity in the game. Do you know what I'm saying? So even worse than that, it's an augmented reality game, which means that when you come across a Pokemon wandering around in the world, you can catch it using your phone, and you can take a picture of, like, right now I could be taking a picture of you catching a Pokemon on your head. And if I were really good, I would be doing that and putting that shit on Facebook by the end of the night, but I don't think there's any Pokemon in Matt's back. You know? And so this game has become insanely addictive. Everywhere you go right now, people are playing Pokemon Go. Keep your eyes open, and you can always tell the ones that are playing it, because they've got their phones either in hand or they're looking at it. And people are driving and doing this shit. And I'm sure at some point cops are going to crack down on that, and it's going to be a texting and driving is going to become just as bad as drinking and driving
Yeah.
at some point.
Pokemon and driving. seen a satire piece about someone causing an accident because they stopped in the middle of the interstate to catch a Pokemon.
So let me try to relate this game to you, because you don't want your shit tracked.
No, I wouldn't. No.
Like, even further, I don't really care too much, because like if it's giving me a good gameplay, which it is, that's cool. So I
just feel like the harder you make it for them to build their profile, the better off you are. You know what I mean? I just feel it. I mean, I guess it's a minor self.
But how long have you been
it
using
just
Google?
Gives me the feely. I mean, I try to not use Google the most that I can, but a lot of times I end up going back to it. So, I mean, because they do have different search engines that essentially search Google too.
Yeah, I mean, everything's
you.
based on Google now. Like,
But it doesn't retain the search directed on you. You know what I'm saying? It's like a proxy search.
so there's nothing I could tell you that you would go and download this game. But this game, to me, on one hand, it's got everyday Americans just out there wandering around trying to catch Pokemon, instead of focusing on the fact that Hillary Clinton just bitched down the FBI, she just bitched down fucking Bernie Sanders, and now it's going to be an insanely bloody battle between her and Donald Trump. I'm going to tell you how that one goes, because I kind of already seen it happen. Donald Trump's going to take emails that he found in these Hillary Clinton WikiLeaks. Here's the craziest part. I started having a theory about that. What if Donald Trump is the money that's attacking Hillary Clinton? Back to Pokemon Go.
He doesn't have it like that, though, does he?
I mean, he's a billionaire.
Is he really, though?
I mean, he can say he's a billionaire and nobody touches that point.
Yeah, he could say he's a billionaire. Doesn't mean he's I could say I'm Mickey Mouse.
That's true.
It's all about believing the lies, man. I mean, I can't take anything these people that come out of their mouth as any kind of truth. I just been burned over so many times, pun intended, that I'm done with it, man. I don't even want them to try, man. Just I don't know what to do, man. I'm at the point like, what do you do in that situation?
I mean, you get the same deal. No, actually, you don't get the same deal. We're peons, bro.
No, man, it's totally.
We get stepped on and thrown into
Exactly.
like prisons.
Mhm.
But actually, we're white, so we don't get thrown into prisons. We just get, experimented on in other crazy ass ways.
Oh no.
We're smarter than that,
Still
man.
getting thrown into prison.
You don't think this is a social experiment right now, Donald?
What's that? Round to the hills.
Round to the hills.
I wonder what the uproar is going to be when Bernie Sanders supporters start crying because it's not easier to catch them all without working for it.
See, what's funny about that? I love that.
Whoa, trolls in the chat room
we got
again,
trolls in
dude.
the chat room. Actually, I've thought about a couple different profitable businesses. Business models are going to change based on fucking Pokemon Go. You're going to start seeing bars using lures as advertisements. You're going to see ice cream trucks going to different spots in the city and just selling ice cream to all the fucking people out there. You don't understand, man. I walked out to the gazebo by the Chamberlain at 11:30 last night. There were 50 people out there playing Pokemon. You go out there and you're like, you look at these people and you're like, I never expected somebody like you to play Pokemon or play Magic or do this other nerd shit that, us human beings do.
Yeah, man, there's people walking around at my job.
Yeah,
That
and
do
they
the same thing as me, walking around playing Pokemon. I'm like, get out of here,
Dude,
man.
I've made so many conversations with people at my job on that game until you realize, oh, you're not part of my team. Get the fuck out of here. But no, you still help them out because you want more people to play this game.
All right, so get to the good bits.
So the good bits on this are, if you look in the terms and services, Niantic's got this line that says, we will work with any authority that asks us for the data that we are recording. And then in their permissions on your cell phone, when you do download this program, you'll notice that you give away your entire Google account. And I don't just mean your email account. I mean your Google search data, your Google forgotten data, your Google whatever program they've got. Google Analytics. Think about the Google Analytics on a personal computer. Can you look at that?
Google Analytics on the personal computer.
I wish we had Paul back on the show right now, and I would ask him that question because that's a Google Analytics question. Like, can it we can go to Google Analytics and we can look around at data on there, but I don't know if we're good enough to look at personal data.
Right, without trying to figure that out. Maybe Phantom Spy, the ultimate secret hacker, might know something about that. Maybe somebody in the chat might know something about that.
So, the chat's going crazy. All right. We got people saying, plus now that people love this, they will use the other format for other games. Yeah, I mean, this is going to automatically get people like, oh, well, what's Pokemon? And then they're going to go to their card shops, and then they're going to go buy cards, and that's going to be awesome for those card shops because they need business like that. Because
But then, like we were talking about earlier off air, when the augmented reality meets virtual reality, and the virtual reality machine is videoing your surroundings and placing artificial things there. You know, once it jumps up, because I'm pretty sure, you know, business people being business people, they're seeing this as an opportunity, no doubt, like to merge the two and make virtual reality units even more.
Phantom Spy's getting pissed. He's like, gosh, just be on this show. Yes, you should be on this show, Phantom Spy. You have an open invitation at any time to come
You
on
were
in here and
supposed to come
talk about
on,
this
but
stuff.
you know, you didn't.
Yeah.
So.
No, we're going to go back to Pokemon Go. So the diversity of people that I've seen playing this game. I got my girl into this game, and she's like, I don't really know if I want to walk around this dark neighborhood. Oh, there's these people up there. And like I was like, it's fine. They're all up there catching Pokemon.
Until they rob you because you got the super secret.
Back to
Pokemon
the
base.
terms and conditions of that program. If
Like
any of
that
these
ever
people,
stopped anyone from doing anything.
I'm telling you, if there's 50 people around a spot, nobody's getting robbed unless it's a mass fucking murder scene. And that it's a possibility, man.
It doesn't have to be 50
It does.
people at the spot, though. I mean, dude, the country's a big place, and I can't imagine that every single Pokemon spot's got 50 people every time. All the time, 24/7, every Pokemon spot's got 50 people there.
No, but you don't
So-
need 50 people there because
I know,
your
you
cell
only
phone.
need you only need one person there to get robbed. Is
This
my
turns your
point.
camera on, dude.
It doesn't matter. People are
It
stupid,
does.
and they're gonna terms of services and security cameras never stop nobody from doing a fucking thing, dude.
You're right, but you know what has? Federal prison.
No,
And listen to
doesn't
me.
stop people
Listen to
from
me,
doing
man.
laws do not stop people.
This is
from
the
breaking
fear mongering right here, and I want that to stop
It's
because
not fear mongering.
that
It's
is
the
fear-mongering.
truth, dude.
No, not
It's
that
the
part.
goddamn
Not
truth,
that
man.
part. The part where you say, I'm not going to play this game because I'm scared of the people over there. Melissa did that shit last night, and I was like,
No,
come on,
I'm
they're
not-
playing
I'm not
playing
saying that's
Pokemon up there.
why I'm
and there was
not
like
playing the game.
5 of them. To be honest, I kind of looked at them, and I was like, these really aren't people I would talk to in my everyday life because they don't, you know what happens when you like look at somebody and you're like, man, this guy could be my best friend for life, or man, I don't really like this guy. You pick up on that energy, and it's like you see people. It's like
Yeah.
I wouldn't really go up and hang out with those people. But there's stories on Reddit too of like an old white dude walking around a sketchy neighborhood, and 2 young black teenagers are like, "Yo, man, there's an Onyx over there." And then they get to talking. The cop comes up, pulls up to them, and then he's like, "Hey, what's going on here?" And then they're like, "Yo, check out this game, Pokemon Go." And the cop started playing it too, and he was like, "Awesome! I needed something to do while I drove around." I'm just saying, this game.
I guess I'd rather him be playing Pokemon Go than
Dude,
fucking
the
shooting
conversations that I've had with people based on me going up to them and saying, "Hey, man, there's a Pikachu over there," or them going up to me and saying, "Hey, man, there's an Onyx over there. Hey, man, there's a Rhydon over
Yeah,
there."
it's cool. Look, and the concept I think is cool, man, because it gets kids outside instead of sitting
Yeah.
at home and playing Pokemon on whatever.
Yeah. Wait till your daughter's like, Daddy, let's go to the fishing pier because there's a Pikachu on there. Because there's a Pikachu on the engineer pier at Fort Monroe. Yes, I just gave you guys free information on this damn game.
All right, enough of the spoilers.
But
Let them walk around and figure it out for themselves.
so this game has the power to do whatever you want from it. If you want to go out and you want to rob people, yes, you can use this game to fucking go out and rob people. But if you don't
I'm
want to
not-
be a
I wasn't
dickhead like
saying-
90% of other people
Look,
playing the game,
I wasn't saying don't play Pokemon Go because you might get robbed. That's not what I was saying at all, dude. It's gonna happen though.
I mean, then let it happen. It sucks, yes, and it sucks, but it's getting people outside of the house. It's getting people to socialize with people they never would have talked to before. I invited a guy to a Magic tournament on fucking Friday because he was like, I didn't think you would play Pokemon Go. And I was like, dude, I'm a fucking nerd. What do you want? I have an internet radio. And see, that's the bitch things. It's like I can get more people convinced that I play Magic and Pokemon Go than I have an internet radio show.
I know.
That's the saddest
what are you
fucking
talking-
part.
They're like, what?
It's like, dude, we could do.
It's like, what? How fancy do you think an internet? You know what I mean? It's like you just told them you work for freaking ABC or something, man.
No, because the normal person has no idea what kind of work. Look around you, man. What kind of work goes into this setup right here.
Man, it's a lot of work.
I think about like the work somebody puts into the show each week on this show. Credits to you for doing this one.
Man, you know,
Credits for me for train wrecking it.
we didn't train right none. We good.
But so Pokemon Go, man, what we need to do is we need to get some stickers and business cards and go out to these places that are Pokemon stops and put that shit around. Pass that shit out and talk to people about 9/11. Talk to people about this kind of stuff. And I would love to film it, but see...
That sounds like a good idea, except that you'll get arrested.
Will I?
Yeah,
I don't think so.
I guarantee you.
Why?
Do it.
What makes you think that I
Do
would
it.
get arrested?
Because that's what'll happen, in my experience. And now you're talking about approaching kids and shit. I mean, because
It's not just kids
I
playing
know
this
it's
game,
not
man.
just kids, but it's a vast majority of fucking kids.
No, it's
man.
not. The vast majority of it is like millennials playing this game. It's literally the Bernie crowd who just gave up on politics because they're playing this game. That's the audience that's playing this shit.
So you're saying that now? Where's the part that you were telling me about earlier about Clinton and Google and Pokemon Go?
Yeah, so we've established that Google made Niantic Labs. Niantic Labs made Ingress. Ingress, people don't know about Ingress. Ingress is Google Maps plus data. Plus where's the landmarks at out here? Instead of paying people to go do this, we're going to get it crowdsourced because the way you got your landmarks into Ingress was that you took a picture of it and you sent it into Ingress with a description of what it was. So I'm sorry, if you don't have a lot of people doing that in Ingress in your game, your Pokemon Go experience might suck unless you leave the fucking house. Your neighborhood is sweet for the game. I was driving down the road at like 15, just like, yep, got that
Yo.
stop. Yep, got that stop.
Yo,
Oh, there's a Rattata over there. Let me stop and get this Rattata. I caught a Pokemon in your driveway.
oh my god!
How does that make you
look,
feel?
Look, dude, look.
My point
I
is-
don't-
my
I'm
point
sick
is-
of hearing about the
my
goddamn
point is-
Pokemon, man.
my
Will you
point
just get to
is-
the point?
The
Please.
point of the matter is that they went nuclear on us here. And it might backfire. They went nuclear and they gave us the ultimate time-killing, time-wasting app so that we don't think about what just happened to us. What just happened to us, Donald? I'm not talking about Black Lives Matter. I'm not talking about the shootings that keep getting posted. I'm
We
talking about
just had
the
a
FBI.
politician be announced as royalty, basically.
Yeah, the FBI bowed down to Hillary. There's no other way around that. And that's what everybody should be mad at. Trump supporter, Hillary supporter, you should look at that and say, this chick is a criminal. Where there's smoke, there's fire. And everything around her is corrupt and greedy and just willing to kill as many people as necessary. Hell, this is the same system that they orchestrated or allowed 9/11 to happen.
We came, we saw, he died.
If we continue to elect criminals into our presidency in this country, I mean, well, hell, we're already fucking too far deep, man. Who really knows the kind of shit that Barack Obama's done? But look at who surrounds him. What do you know about him? Nothing,
Obama.
really.
I mean, everything's shrouded in mystery. I mean,
Exactly.
all his documents were sealed, and all you know is who he surrounds him with, and that's kind of alarming. I mean, when he first got into office, it was all the same financial players.
Yep. He made Hillary bow down. Think about that.
I don't think he made Hillary bow down. I'm pretty sure that someone above both of them made Hillary bow down
Why would they do that?
because it was his time.
Was it his time?
Yeah, I think, if Hillary Clinton is going to be the end game that's going to bring us in, it wasn't time yet. They needed, or maybe they needed Barack Obama. Look, if this is all a big plot and scam here, this racial turmoil we're going through right now,
Leads to a race war.
right? So maybe they need to set precedent. Because think about it, Obama got elected and everything was racist. You're a racist if you don't like Obama, blah blah. And then there was actual racists, being racist. And it's just amping that up over all this time, man. And like Obama should have brought us together, man. You know what I mean? But it just drove the wedge further down, man. And now it's to the point where you got all this violence jumping off. Maybe they needed that first. And now, I don't know, man. I hate to say that this is
Phantom
is the,
Spy, you're completely correct in the chat. He's like, this is a quote. One way to look at it is that there wasn't undeniable evidence. She's a lawyer, married to an ex-president lawyer, surrounded by a team of the world's shadiest and most expensive lawyers. Hard to nail. 30,000 guns, but none of them smoking. God.
Hillary is in
That's
the Bible
craziest part
around
about this,
the
man.
end of it.
How do we dig into the Clinton Foundation? That's all I want this show to do anymore. I just want to expose everything in that fucking thing, man.
Emails is about the best chance.
So the new show is now a crowdsourced format. I want each one of you to go through 10 of fucking Hillary's emails.
Right. All right. So what you
I'm going to do
is,
10,000 of them.
What you do is you jump on the wiki, right? The WikiLeaks, not Wikipedia, WikiLeaks.org, and you go to the Hillary Clinton email archive, and you type in a cute little search phrase like Libya or like foundation or donation
Or Google.
or Eric Schmidt.
I want to look up Niantic.
Oh, that's going to be too current to be really in there, I think, man.
No, because
Well, we'll
they were
see.
developing
We'll
that
see
around 2006.
What our crowdsourcing accomplishes. So yeah, dig in there, see what you find. Who knows?
I'm going to do that right now.
Most of them are Ashley Madison ads.
Oh, man.
Somebody.
Wait,
should
are they Bill or Hillary's Ashley Madison account? Because I'm sure both of them had one.
I don't think they need it, bro. I mean, Bill Clinton just walks around and rapes anything he sees, allegedly.
I'm saying, man, though that dude is he's got this aura that's not human. I'm not saying anything further on that tip, but that guy is a powerful, powerful human being.
Man, we've got look. Okay, so back on Reddit. Let's get off go. Let's get back on there, back on the track here. Let me see if I can find this. Here we go. Okay, so we had another user submitted thing here, and it's a screenshot of Reddit. Supposedly, it's a Ask Me Anything, right? Clinton case. Now, supposedly, this guy's insider, trying to do it anonymously. He's inside the FBI. All right, so there's some troll questions in there. I'm not going to read them. Well, maybe I will. I'm a person with intimate knowledge of inner workings of the Clinton case. I will answer as many questions as I can without giving too much away. Okay.
So to Reddit, Ask Me Anything.
The first question, obviously, will the Hillary get pregnant again? Obvious troll. Okay. Why are you on 4chan on a Friday night? All right, so the first real question, will she be indicted? There's intense pressure for us not to do so. I am posting from a position of near anonymity and enough plausible deniability to evade prosecution, as we have all been given gag orders. There's enough for her and the entire government to be brought down. People don't realize how enormous this whole situation actually is. Whether she will be or not depends on how much info about others involved gets out, and if there are a lot of people, involved. All right, one reason they have to believe you. Why are they going to talk to her about tomorrow? Okay. Legal is asking preliminary questions about whether or not she has been coached. She has. And setting up the general line of questioning. I'm high-level analyst, though, so my only job is to look at her records. Elaborate. The real point of interest is the Clinton Foundation, not the email server. We received the server from Benghazi. Then from the server we found data on the CF, Clinton Foundation. Then we realized the situation is much worse than previously thought. She had special access program level programs on her server, which if made public would have literally caused an uprising and possibly foreign declarations of war. Whoa.
Yeah. Yes.
All right.
He just said that she wants to take us to war? No?
Would you support me? I'm not even going to read that.
Why won't you read that?
I'll read the response. Killing HRC would not cause this problem to go away. The problem with the Clinton Foundation, as I mentioned, which you should just imagine as a massive spider web of connections and money laundering implicating hundreds of high-level people. Though I do not have a high opinion of Hillary, she's just a piece, albeit a big piece, of this massive shitstorm. Do you think the DOJ will protect Hillary like Holder did for Petraeus? The DOJ is most likely looking to save itself. Find everyone involved in the Clinton Foundation, from its donors to its board directors, and imagine they're all implicated. You don't agree that a message has been sent by the people to protect the sanctity of that position? I do prefer the peaceful way, to be honest, but it's the constant fear you're going to fuck it up that grips me. Alright. Will Comey resign if there's enough evidence to indict, but is forced not to indict? Was Lynch saying that she will accept any recommendation from the FBI really means she knows they are not going to indict? There already is enough to indict. Comey has been trying to stall because he does not want to face the Clinton machine, as well as the rest of Washington, D.C. But this case would explode into a million other cases if fully brought to light, and we would be one agency competing against the entire government for a horde of other interests. It's a very tense and uncomfortable position. What Lynch is saying is she will accept whatever they do and make her determination as she will. Nothing about her responsibilities has changed. She is simply trying to keep her hide intact. So, man, and it goes on and on.
Yeah, no, this exchange is. Can you put this
It's
up on the
good.
Facebook right now?
Yeah.
I mean, it's already on the Facebook.
It's already on the Facebook. Just go to Facebook and it was.
It's hard to
user
find on
submitted.
Facebook.
Not really.
It's a good thread to read through when you get past all the trolls. But basically, this guy's claiming that he's an anonymous FBI source, or is he in the DOJ?
No, FBI.
Okay, so he's FBI, and he's saying that basically this entire Hillary Clinton is the Clinton Foundation, and he doesn't even mean it's that high. It goes higher than that. It goes even further into what you and I have been talking about this entire time with the Bilderbergs.
Okay. In my opinion, the entire government is guilty of treason,
Yep.
which is why Hillary Rodham Clinton's death would not cease the investigation or prevent further scandals.
Yep.
Many, many people are involved. Just wanted to reiterate that.
I mean, yeah. So her going away does nothing. It just lets the next man come up. And who knows who that is? Because if you look at what happened with Barack Obama, it was the same thing. George W., man, he was the same thing. And then you had Clinton, and you had Bush, and you had Reagan, who was basically fucking Bush, right?
All right, so while we're here, man, we're on the subject of Comey saying not to indict. Let me give you a little bit of info on this. Lawless HSBC got away with money laundering in 2012. The Clinton Foundation received $81 million in funds from clients of the HSBC Bank in 2015. Whether or not this was another attempt to launder money through the bank's accounts is anybody's guess at this time. So they did it again. It needs no explanation. The financial ecosystem as we know it is being attacked from all angles. That is only made possible because they have been doing some dirty things behind the scenes. Albeit the HSBC Bank should have been prosecuted back in 2012 for money laundering, the DOJ decided not to. After all, it would cause global financial disaster. So are the banks absolved from any wrongdoings now? Although very few people seem to know about this, a new congressional report shows HSBC was involved in money laundering in 2012. The Department of Justice could have easily made a case and prosecute the bank and all of its top brass employees. However, they've decided not to do so out of fear of the financial turmoil it would cause. The charges would have been quite severe as HSBC was involved in letting drug cartels use U.S. bank accounts to launder money. Instead of facing criminal charges, the bank paid nearly $2 billion as a settlement. Moreover, none of the institution's top officials faced any charges during the process. That being said, no one should be above the law, especially not when the evidence is clearly visible. Given the position of power HSBC holds, they got away with their money laundering and were penalized in a financial way. The fact that none of their top brass face charges does not sit well with most people. Apparently, once you work for a bank, you become untouchable by the law. But there seems to be a lot more to the story than just the importance of HSBC in the financial world. Current FBI Director Comey joined the bank back in 2013, shortly after the money laundering allegations were made. To this day, it remains unclear if his appointment was part of a deal not to face criminal charges. If that isn't enough, there is also a connection between the HSBC and the Clintons. The Clinton Foundation received $81 million in funds from clients of the HSBC Bank back in 2015. Whether or not this was another attempt to launder money through the bank's accounts is anybody's guess at this time. Any activity related to this institution should be thoroughly screened, as they have built up a mischievous reputation, to say the least. To put this in perspective, Silk Road operator Rush Ulbricht received a severe sentence for his actions on the darknet. Albeit the funds involved down that platform was a lot lower compared to what HSBC pulled off, the latter got away with it. This goes to show how biased the legal system is and who truly holds the power in this world.
Yep. And see, this goes back to what our anonymous FBI source said, where she's just a big piece in this entire network.
Right.
And when you start like putting these pieces together, it's going to become like a Jenga puzzle. And see, this is where I said I didn't really agree with Brexit because there wasn't a plan. This is where I'm saying we need to start coming up with a plan, because when we start unraveling this thing, society is going to fall apart. Because it takes a lot of corrupt people to uphold what we're dealing with right now. If you think we have freedom and liberty here, we fucking don't. That Constitution is shit, man.
Yep. We do have to hit that hour break.
Exactly.
So, on the other side, we're going to get some more into this. We got a lot more up there. It doesn't look like we're going to get to a whole lot more of it. We got another Rolling the Chain segment coming up.
Oh, man.
And
we have
got,
Phantom Spy coming up?
Phantom Spy may show his face. I don't know. You never know about them hackers, man. They're always like,
Man.
look at me. I got Clinton's emails.
Yeah, we can't trust these sources, man.
So we're going to hit that break and see you on the other side. You guys want to join the discussion? Do so. At
YouTube.
that time.
What's up, Internet? This is George of the Chocolate Milk and Waffle Show.
And I'm Terrell K. Mercer, also the Chocolate Milk and Waffle Show.
And we would like to invite you to tune in every Thursday from 8 to 9 on Radio F Radio.
Hey, it's Justin from Deprogrammed. Do you like to talk about your favorite bands with your friends? Yeah, well, me too. Tune in every Tuesday night at 10 p.m. to hear us do just that. Only on our station, Radio Free Radio, RadioFradio.com.
Hey, this is Corey O'Neill.
This is James Clark.
Tune into the FSB show here on our station, RadioFradio.com, every Thursday at 10 o'clock p.m. Eastern to midnight. 2 full hours where we bring you politically incorrect sports talk, outside-the-box, thought-provoking stuff. You can call in here at the station, 757-848-5920. Give us a call, debate us, whatever's on your mind, let us know. We'll go back and forth. Give us a call. Head over to patreon.com/Radio Free Radio. $1 a month gets you everything. Don't miss what we've got going on at our station, RadioFradio.com. Boom.
Do you ever feel like there's something wrong in the world around you? Do you feel like you're being lied to? Do you think you know more than the people in charge? Join us as we answer these questions and many more. Wednesday nights, 9 p.m. on RadioFradio.com.
Hey guys, Matt and Justin here. Do you like things that are funny? Do you like music? Do you like talk? Well, we've got it all on Good Morning You Drunks.
How do you feel about double middle fingers?
I don't like them, but I will accept them.
Oh, Monday nights, 8 p.m. Good Morning You Drunks, only on our station, Radio Free Radio, RadioFradio.com.
We promise we're not going to give you double middle fingers.
RadioFreeRadio.com.
Did you know that Radio Free Radio has over 100 videos on their YouTube channel? It's true. Check it out. Go to YouTube and type Radio Free Radio, all one word, into the search bar and click subscribe.
Hey Justin, I was just thinking that there's no better way to advertise that hashtag WrestlePals is moving to 10 p.m. every Monday on Radio Free Radio, RadioFradio.com, than to cut our own wrestling style promo. Do it.
Monday nights at 10 p.m. Hashtag WrestlePals take the airwaves. And they're going to talk wrestling with you. If you want to call in, you can call 757-848-5920. Can you feel that? Feel the WrestlePals power coursing through your veins! Ah!
I think you just had an aneurysm. That's hashtag WrestlePals every Monday, 10 p.m. Radio Free Radio, RadioFradio.com.
Hey guys, this is Ron from Ron to the Hills, and we want to hear from you. Give us a call at 757-848-5920.
Shoot us an email at ronhillsshow@gmail.com. Like us on Facebook /Ron to the Hills. And now you can Skype us at ronnie.hills2. Come on, join the Hill people today.
RadioFRadio.com. RadioFRadio.com.
I'm not a bit surprised that the Federal Reserve got to the Senate. I had expected Bernie Sanders to offer 604, which was the same as 1207, which is the Audit the Fed bill. And at the last minute, he switched it and watered it down, and really it adds nothing. It's a possibility that it even makes the current conditions worse. This is essentially the bill plus more of the bill we beat in the House Financial Committee, the Mel Watts bill. But this is so disappointing to me that this happened, especially since for months now I've worked with Bernie on this, and he introduced the bill in our language, which was 1207. But as we speak, this is Thursday night, they are working on this on the Senate floor, and we need to get as many messages possible to any senator you can think of, especially to Bernie Sanders' office, that we don't want this version. We want a true audit of the Fed. We need to know what the Open Market Committee does, and we need to know what they're doing overseas with the agreements with central banks and financial institutions and other governments. And in this bill that is being offered, that amendment that is being offered now does not include this. So I am sure that Senator DeMint is working on this and may come up with an alternative. But the only thing that would be fair to the American people, after all this work and energy that we've put into this, is have an up and down vote on what was our 1207 in the House, which is 604 in the Senate. Yes, they may water it down and they may win it, but if they don't have an honest vote on a Senate floor, to me it would be very, very discouraging. But it also shows what kind of forces we're up against. The president doesn't want this. The leadership on Wall Street doesn't want it. The Federal Reserve doesn't want it. So they're powerful forces. But just think of the people that do want it. You know, everybody from progressives and liberal Democrats to libertarians and constitutionalists and the average person, so many of the Tea Party members, they all want this. They want transparency, and they want to find out what's going on at the Fed. So it's very, very important. It's a crucial time, and whether, I doubt if they'll vote tonight, which is Thursday, but they may vote tomorrow. Who knows? They may vote Monday. But it's vital and urgent that we do as much as we can to bombard the Senate with information that we, the people, deserve to have an up and down vote on Audit the Fed bill.
Hey guys, this is Ron from Ron to the Hills, and we want to hear from you. Give us a call at 757-848-5920. Shoot us an email at ronhillsshow@gmail.com. Like us on Facebook /Ron to the Hills. And now you can Skype us at ronnie.hills2. Come on, join the Hill people today.
RadioFRadio.com.
At this point in the show, I always like to remind everybody to go to patreon.com/radiofreeradio, because if you go there, you give $1 to our Patreon page, become a patron of the station, and you get everything we put out. Yeah, 16 hours of content weekly and growing. And, you know, maybe that's enough for you. Maybe just the 16 hours is enough because it'll get you through your workday. You know, you can listen to however many shows a day it takes you to get through your workday. If that's enough for you, cool. But really what you are doing is you're keeping this little tiny internet radio station afloat. Yeah. You are giving us hope, and each time we see a new patron come aboard, I cannot tell you what it means to us to see so many people jumping on board.
It does. It means a lot, because it's not just, here's $1, give me some content. It's, here's $1, I believe in what you guys are doing.
Exactly.
And we...
You have meddled with the primal forces of nature, Mr. Beale.
Yeah!
I won't have it.
God, I love that music.
Ooh,
Dude,
back. I hit
that
the
is
wrong
the
button.
greatest.
My bad, guys.
Sorry for blowing your eardrums out there on that intro, but
Ooh.
man, I don't give you enough credit for the amount of work that you do on this show. So I'm gonna start this one off with saying thank you.
You're welcome, guy.
Not just from me, but from the 8 people in our chat room right now, the millions
Laughing
listening
it up.
around the world.
Millions and millions,
Millions.
potentially.
How do we have millions of listeners from around the world?
Potentially.
Like, how do we have thousands of likes on Facebook and then 4 fucking people listen?
And it's because nobody follows through. And you've never been in a band, so I'll give you the benefit of the
Yeah,
doubt.
that's a good point. But anyways, man, you can give us a call, 757-848-5920. You can hit us up on the Skype, 757-325-4510. You can go on over to the Patreon and donate to the Radio Free Radio. You know? Yeah. We stopped doing that one? No. We love these people.
We're talking about the evil that is HRC.
We came, we saw, he died.
Is that the only clip you got there?
I only got 2.
So,
it's because I do such a good job on the show. Hey, you guys are worth hundreds of hypothetical dollars. Thanks, man.
We appreciate that. we appreciate that. Thanks, chat. We love you.
All right. So, we're going to bring in the Roland segment for you guys. Come back, talk about it. I'm sure that's going to get someone fired up to want to...
Hey, let me put this one out there right quick.
Call in.
Before we hit that, let me just open up the door to Run to the Hills. Roland Deschain isn't... I mean, he can't be the only listener, right?
Who, Roland Deschain?
Yeah. Now, if you want to have... Like, you have something to say, 5 to 10, 15 minutes, you know, record it. Send it to us. We'll play it.
If we find it worthy.
We'll give you credit. We give Roland credit all the time.
Roland gets all the credit he gets.
Yeah.
All of it.
All right.
All of them credits. Are you done now?
No.
Okay. Continue.
Okay, I'm about done now.
All right. Rolling the shame.
Roland Deschain.
Roland Deschain here. Today we're going to talk about the recent events with the shootings that have happened and how I believe that this is again more of that divide and conquer bullshit that the globalists are trying to pull on us right now. So this is a big diversion from the whole Hillary Clinton thing that came out with the FBI, for one. The people that are paying her don't want this to be as big news as it has become. Not only that, so they play up these police shootings, which probably weren't justified. They may have been. I'm not even going to speculate on that crap. I'm not a police officer, and I'm not going to pretend to be, and I'm not the people in that situation, and I don't know what happened on those nights. Regardless, it's another divide and conquer strategy with us, and unfortunately for them, it kind of backfired with that whole Dallas sniper thing. So with that, it actually brought, for a second, the Black Lives Matter protesters and the cops together, which is kind of weird. Now, there are some people that come out and say, hey, I don't feel sorry for the cops that got basically massacred in that situation. You know what, and that's fine, it's their opinion or whatever. The way I look at it is, man, it's all people. They may have been bad people. I don't know the cops that got shot. I don't know the people that got shot by the cops. They could have been good people. They could have been bad people. I'm not with the whole all lives matter bullshit because, as frankly, there's plenty of fucking people out there that their lives don't matter because they do horrible shit and they probably deserve not to be living anymore. Granted, you can't relate that to these people that are in the news recently because we don't know what the hell that situation was. You know, it can look however you want it to look. When you watch the video, you can armchair quarterback it, whatever, but you weren't there. You weren't on either side of that fence. So, I mean, take it for what it is. Anyway, this whole thing, again, divide and conquer, it's working. That took the attention away from everything that was going on with Hillary Clinton, with everything that was going on in the House and the Senate right now. They're getting ready to pass a bill that they can deny people passports if they want to. It's supposed to be for terrorists, where they can deny people that are suspected terrorists passports, and things of that nature. But what it really is just like the Patriot Act. I mean, it's going to turn into, they'll deny whoever they want passports because they feel it's necessary, and it's just another government overreach into our personal lives, which is kind of shitty. But hey, they're being successful. I mean, look at it, the Black Lives Matter and the cops thing. Man, that's got America split down the middle, and that takes over any other conversations about anything else going on. I mean, there's nothing that will come in between that or be bigger news than that, because people want to hear about it. Honestly, I mean, it's, you know, people feel there's nothing they can do about the Hillary thing. There's nothing they can do about other things, and this is the big news that people want to be vocal about and everything, and that's fine. That's okay. Again, I'll put this out there again, you know, just because I'm a white person, I'm not racist. And just because you're a black person doesn't make you racist. At the same time, you got to realize that white people aren't the only racist people out there. You know, Black Lives Matter, I mean, some people that are uneducated and that support that movement are racist as fuck. Just like there's white people who are uneducated as fuck and they're racist as fuck. I mean, you gotta have that balance, and you gotta be not afraid to say that. The big thing is, yeah, I get it. The jail system is racist as fuck. There is 100% profiling that happens. You know, even we had laws in New York that allowed that to happen too, and that was in New York City. I mean, it happens. People get pulled over because they're black. 100% agree with that. I'm not going to argue that, okay? But that's not everyone, you know what I mean? Like, I'm a white dude walking down the street. I'm not a cop. I don't give a shit if you're white, black, green, blue, yellow, whatever the fuck it is, man. I don't care. That doesn't give you the right to automatically profile me as a racist if I'm not profiling you. One of the things that I thought was very interesting about this whole Black Lives Matter thing that caught me off guard and made me laugh a little bit, and it was on the news, and somebody called out people on it too, but one of the people said, from the Black Lives Matter movement, said, hey, don't judge everybody that supports the Black Lives Matter movement off of this one guy that decided he was going to be a sniper and shoot a bunch of cops. And I'm thinking to myself, well, damn, that's crazy, because isn't that what you guys do? All cops are shitty people because one person got murdered, maybe unjustified, maybe justified. People are protesting justified killings by the cops that happen to be on video. Like, it's justified. The dude, they had reason to use deadly force, and people are protesting that. It's odd to me. I don't know what it is. If it's an unjustified killing, by all means, protest the shit out of it. I don't support that. But if it's a justified killing, dude, what means do you have to be protesting that? It doesn't make any goddamn sense. And then for you to call other people names and vilify everybody because of a few people, and then you don't want to be vilified because of a few people. I mean, it goes both ways. My point is, though, we need to be worried about shit that's going on behind the scenes. Take a look at it. Read about it. Support your cause, that's fine. But also be educated on what's going on behind the scenes, because what's going to happen is, like I've been saying, where they're going to take more and more rights while we're worried about other shit that is important, but that's what they want. They want it to seem more important than everything else that's going on, and the next thing you know, we're going to be shit out of luck on everything. It's a big scheme. I'm not a conspiracy theorist normally, but this shit is odd to me, and it's only going to get worse until we wisen up. Hillary Clinton's the big one on it too. I mean, if she's our next president, unfortunately, shit's only going to continue down the same path. But that's up for you guys to decide. You guys have a good night. I'll talk to you some other time. Bye.
And that was Rolling to Shame.
That was actually really, really well done. That's like very controversial topics right there. And he's completely correct about it being a diversion from what just happened there. Because the entire thing that Bernie Sanders had been riding on was that Hillary was going to get indicted before the Democratic National Convention. Now that the Democratic National Convention is about to happen and he has endorsed her, she is their candidate. So any of this stuff goes away if she becomes the president. That's something we need to keep in mind. Another thing we need to keep in mind, too, is that her and Donald Trump are the same person. Am I wrong?
Pretty much.
Oh, wait, I'm pretty much wrong, or they're
No,
pretty much the
you're
same person?
pretty much the same person. I just want to address this. BLM is asking for an intangible thing. There's never a point where everyone's going to go, okay, that's fixed, so these protests are indefinite. On that point, they just released...
They released their 10 demands.
I guess demands. Yeah, it's kind of... It seems fucked up to put it that way, but... So number one, end the broken windows policing, which aggressively polices minor crimes in an attempt to stop larger ones. Broken windows policing is the idea that vigorously enforcing small crimes like vandalism will prevent larger crimes from happening. This law has allowed police to increase stop and frisk, which BLM claims enables racial stereotyping. They argue that black men and women are unfairly targeted by police using this law as an excuse, and that policy ultimately led to the death of Eric Gardner. Remember the guy that was choked to death after he was caught selling loose cigarettes. This is their first point in their plan, and probably the most controversial. I think that guy actually died of a heart attack, and
It was a heart attack brought on by them choking him.
Right.
I mean, it still messed up, man. And okay, so with what Phantom Spy was saying about this first one, is like, at what point do you stop that though? Because there becomes a certain point where it's like, is there a certain point where you can't pull over?
These are like official stances, you know what I mean? Now you got the people coming out in New York, the officers in New York, saying that they are pressured to target minorities. The officers, you know what I mean? They're just like, fuck it, coming out. So,
okay.
I mean, that's, I think, what they're talking about is the institutionalized targeting of minorities.
Now, here's the thing about that, though. Like, in that case, isn't a lot of this, like, aggressive targeting, like, the cause of it being large drug rings or terrorist cells? Like, you have to keep this in mind. You can't, if we do have this war on terror going on, as long as we have the Patriot Act going on, like, we have to have a certain bias against certain communities.
Okay. Number two, use community oversight for misconduct rather than having the police department decide what consequences officers face. So,
You
this
can
is
have
kind of
another
interesting.
community group.
Well, I mean, this is what's interesting about this. Is this could go either way. I'd like to see some kind of plan for this. Because community oversight should just be a jury trial. Trial by jury. I mean, you're going to set up another body.
Well, hold on. Because now think about the relationship that's there between the courts and the police. They're hand in hand.
Right, but you're trial by jury.
Yeah.
And ultimately, the jury not only has the right to acquit you, but has the right to acquit you on the basis that that law is just fucking.
Yes, but again, the thing is you're asking the system to police itself.
A jury of your peers is exactly that.
Yeah.
All right.
Yes,
They make the decision regarding what happens, not the police department, not the judges. The justice system in that case
listen to me.
is a jury of your peers.
The judge is still there, correct? The judge still has influence over the jury. Listen to me. It has to be a community. It has to be a community like people. It can't go through the court system where the police
So you
go
want
hand
to
in
set
hand
up
with that.
another system of another court system that runs in parallel to the regular legal system?
No, I'm not saying that. You have a consumer
I think that
group.
may be what they're saying, though.
I don't. I think what they're saying there is that there should be like a board of community members, just people in the community that are trying to make the community a better place. Because this is what it is. So now, say you're a judge,
But
and
that's not what they said. That's not what they said.
What did they say there?
Use community oversight for misconduct rather than having the police department decide what consequences officers face.
Yes, and the community oversight. What do you think the community oversight
It should be a jury trial.
Is it going to be a bunch of people coming together and voting on it? Because I think that'd be the most democratic way to go about it.
I mean,
A jury trial, you're right.
It should be a jury trial.
Here's why I tell you the jury trial doesn't work. The jury trial does not work because say you're a judge and now you have to go police this trial. You have to go sit and judge a police officer. This police officer has brought you the person, plenty of criminals that need to be off the streets. The jury finds against that police officer. Now this judge has to put that police officer into jail. How do you think that affects the relationship between the police officer and the judge? Right now, they have this intersected, like, connection there. Am I correct?
Yeah, but I mean, dude, the judge can't do it. The judge can be like, disregard that testimony, jury. They still fucking heard it, dude.
Yeah, but they are not allowed to use it in their analysis. They're not allowed to.
Like, you tell me, yeah, like that happens.
The judge has a lot more influence over a trial than just that, man. The judge can dismiss jurors just on looks alone. He can say, you're hungover, get out of here. The judge has a very important role to play in this entire process. The judge isn't going to take the police officer off the street because he beat up somebody who has a criminal record.
The judge doesn't decide guilty or not guilty.
He doesn't, but he has a ton of influence over the case. And you take that out, and now it becomes like prominent members of the community.
So now it's prominent members of the community. Well, who decides what prominent members?
Well, we get the same thing. It just becomes the mayor and the city council that make up the people.
So, like, what I'm
on that
saying
fucking
is,
thing.
essentially, you're saying you need another body, another legal system to go inside next to our current legal system. How exactly is that going to work?
Because these people aren't making laws or enforcing laws. These people are just enforcing a social contract that needs to happen.
They're breaking a law by assaulting you, correct?
Yes, but like I just said, if you look at what's been happening, why has the judicial system not worked up until now?
Because they don't do that. They police themselves internally.
They still go to trial. What about the four guys? The four guys who beat up Rodney King went to trial and all were both acquitted.
Those four guys went to trial, right? What about all the ones that don't go to trial? What about all the ones that get 6 months paid leave? What about all that?
If they murder somebody, they still face a judicial review. Right now, they need to stop policing themselves.
All I'm saying is we don't need to be creating extra bodies outside of what's already there, man. We need to just fix how it works inside of what we got, not create a competing fucking legal system. It's ridiculous.
So where you? I'm not saying compete.
That's what this is leading to, though.
No,
Don't you
it's
see
not.
that? How is it not? You're creating a body made up of community leaders that tells the police what they gotta fucking do instead of the legal system.
At a certain point, they need that kind of shit.
So at a certain point, you need a legal system to police a legal system.
No, it's not a legal system. It's not a legal system because the only time these people come together is when something like this happens and the police.
I'm telling you right now, number 2 is going to come in the form of federalized police force.
I disagree with that completely, and you're reading too much into that, man.
Nah, dude.
That says use community oversight. That says, hey, the communities need to come together. So, which part of this are you?
Okay, so they want an independent group to review all cases and dole out the punishment, since you know the police department might be a tad biased.
I'm not just saying the police department's biased. I'm going to say the entire
We're talking
judicial
about
and
what
legal
they're
system
saying
is
here.
biased against
We're
the
talking
police.
about what they're saying, what this is going to lead to, not what you're saying, what that's going to lead to. Rather than the police deciding how an officer is punished after they've committed a crime, like when an officer who caused a death is punished by being put on paid leave for 6 months, they want an independent group to review all cases and dole out the punishments, since you know the police department might be a tad unbiased. So, what I'm saying is, instead of the police department fucking handling it, it needs to go to court. And it needs to be fucking tried by jury, because that's what a goddamn community fucking panel is, man.
I agree with you on that. But now,
So-
let's take what
so
you're
if you
saying.
take this to
I
the
would
extreme-
do your point of view if they picked a judge from out of jurisdiction.
Whatever needs to be done, Ronnie, is what I'm saying. You don't create a competing fucking legal system. man.
That's not a competing legal system. That's just communities coming together and saying, hey, police officers, we're a community. We're the other end of this social contract.
So when a police man commits a crime, instead of going to court, he goes to the fucking people's court or whatever. He goes
That's
to the
not
second
no.
court.
That's not the people's court. Listen,
It
listen,
goes to
listen. There's an
this-
easy way to get around this. You can say yes. You as a community can come together and we can look at what you say and we can recommend that to our prosecutors. Something like that. Basically, all this is saying is that the community is going to come together. I can't read you, Google chat or YouTube chat.
Good. Shut up.
What's happening on the Google chat?
All right, we're gonna get on. Sorry, guys. I know we like to do that. So, number 3,
Boo.
make standards for reporting police use of deadly force. A lot of reports of police using deadly force aren't released to the public. This uses statistics when it comes down to who died by the hands. It leaves the public in the dark about how the police operate. BLM wants to standardize reporting methods and make the whole process more transparent. No fucking problem with that whatsoever. That is great. Let's do that plus 100.
I still don't understand how you're not behind number 2.
I don't like it. We need to fix what we got and not create another body outside of it.
Yeah, but you're not creating a body.
Whatever, dude. We need to agree to disagree on that point and move on. Independently investigate and prosecute police misconduct. Much like point 2, BLM doesn't want the police investigating crimes committed by the police since it's proven to be a recipe for trouble. Instead, they want an independently run government body to investigate whether or not an officer has violated the law, a la federal police force. The short version, if a cop shoots someone other than the cop should look into the case to see if that shooting was lawful. Which I can agree with that too, obviously.
You know what the bitch thing is here?
Dude, I'm telling you, this is opening the door, man.
No.
If you believe that this may possibly be a fucking conspiracy, this is opening the door for what? Federal police force, dude. They've been playing. They want this shit for a while, dude.
No, I disagree with that. I see the two sides of this, so I see your side of it. I completely see what you're talking about here. Now that they brought that one up, and that you spin it that way, I see the other side of it being that the community gets together and starts handling this shit internally. And handle it to the city council. Handle this kind of things where it's like, okay, we have this case of this thing happening. What's the city council feel? And some people say, hey, man, I don't feel there's enough justice. Can we have somebody else come look at it other than the police? We completely agree with that. Who the fuck comes in and polices the police, though? That's my question.
Right, exactly.
Now,
federal police.
Now, listen to me. You want the federal? You say the federal police. You don't want it. No. Listen to me, though, Donald. What you want is the same thing I want. You want the community to handle this kind of shit, not the fucking feds.
I do, but what you're talking about is getting outside. We have the outlet for that with our local governments, but creating a new something.
But we don't. Right now, the police, like all of these people whose family was killed, none of them have received justice from these things because the police are policing this.
All right, let me rephrase this. We have the outlet, but we don't use it. We don't get people up for city council that are worth a fuck. We don't vote in good sheriffs. We just let it ride, dude. We have the outlet. We do not use it. All right.
You're completely correct. Let me read number 5 here.
All right.
Have the racial makeup of police departments reflect the communities they serve.
Before we get onto that, my one main issue with Black Lives Matter movement, aside from some of the shit in here, it seems to me that their tactics is almost like COINTELPRO, man. Cause
you're saying that Black Lives don't matter? That's what I mean by that.
No, you're right.
The COINTELPRO, that's the trolling aspect of it.
But aside from that, like, they've been led astray by provocatoring kind of like, there's whispers of them meeting with Obama. I don't know if that's the case, but somebody down the line, and I have personal experience with this doing the We Are Change thing, a spook has been sent in somewhere, and they most likely, in my opinion, have convinced them that blocking up roadways is the thing to do. When I feel like what they should be doing, from if I put myself in their shoes, would be to go to City Hall, the local government, and shut that down, and go to the police department and shut that down.
I don't know
where your problem is, because listen,
if you
follow me.
Notice.
Hold on, let me finish. Essentially, blocking up just roadways like that, you're really not doing anything but pissing a lot of people off, man.
Good.
Because
it's doing its purpose.
No, it's not doing its purpose.
Yes,
because
it is.
Pissing people off does not get them on your side. All right? If you do your purpose and shut down the fucking council until you get your fucking 10 demands met, that's one thing. But when your entire thing is just to make a bunch of people's fucking day pissed off and blocking up a fucking freeway, preventing people from getting in a hospital, preventing people from getting to work, I mean, I'm totally with what they're trying to do. They're just going about it the wrong way, and I feel like it's engineered that way.
I can tell you that it's engineered from the simple fact that the police gave somebody downtown had to give them permits to do all this shit. So of course somebody knows that something's going on because somebody allowed it to happen. Now beyond that, like, I'm not going to argue that. I'm going to say that this kind of protest did more than any of the fucking, like, We Are Change shit. If We Are Change had done something like this and gotten the communities to actually pissed off,
this type of protest, I think, is more of a wedge.
We need to be pissed off, man.
Dude, people
we need to
already
be asking
pissed
the
off.
right questions about this kind of shit, because what's going to happen one day when it's like all of a sudden police are just completely militarized and every single interaction they have with the public is a very aggressive, negative one. Whereas opposed to the police officers, they are pillars of the community. We entrust them to walk around with guns, and we give them the license to kill. They should have the ultimate trust. That's why it should come back to the communities and the community leaders, the people that are in charge of the
piss
community.
people off, all right? Because now we're just using Donald Trump tactics. All right? That's not what we need to be doing here, man. They need to take this movement and they need to bring it to where it needs to go. And they need to shut that shit down. It's the only way they're going to. Because after a while, clogging up the streets, the police are just going to come in and arrest you all. Now, if you do, and public opinion is going to be like, well, fuck them assholes always blocking up the traffic, right? So if you go and take it to the source and you get arrested there, it's a totally different thing as well.
I don't know if I agree with that. Just on the base of the simple fact that you can get pissed off at Black Lives Matter, but if you actually start asking the question,
at all.
no, I'm saying, in that situation, you've got your smartphone on you. When you're sitting there and you're all pissed off, instead of getting pissed off, just accept the fact that you're not moving for a while because these people who have been treated badly by the rest of their community, we turn a blind eye to this shit.
Okay,
man.
so let's put it in perspective though. How many people are actually going to do that?
I mean, dude, how many people showed up on Mercury? How many people showed up on Jefferson?
No.
On Grand?
How many people sitting in their cars are not going to be like, God damn it, and pull out their phones and search Black Lives Matter?
I'm sure.
How many people do you think sitting in them cars are they going to win over?
I'm just thinking in the future, and in 5 years from now, I'm pretty sure, like, if my daughter's in the car and, like, it's not an emergency, which, 90% of the time it's not an emergency, so that fear-mongering, stop that shit.
It's not fear-mongering, it's reality.
It's
reality.
No,
it's
man.
reality, dude. If you block up an interstate so no traffic can go, and it's a large interstate and there's a lot of people, you're going to be preventing someone from getting somewhere, which may be a work situation, which may be a fucking emergency situation. It could be anything.
First off, work's good to understand. Second off, emergency situations. These people that give them the permits to do this shit, the same cops that are out there, aren't going to block up a major artery of
They
shit.
had permits to do what they did just recently?
Yeah.
Show me the permits, man, because I don't think so, man.
See, this is where we're going to do some digging. I mean,
All right, well, we're gonna
look,
save that for later. Let's
look,
move on to the
no.
next
6,
one.
7, and 8 are the same fucking thing, man. 6, 7, and 8 are require officers to wear body cameras. Check. I'm with that. They should be recording every interaction with the public they have. 7, provide more training for police officers. Correct. I don't want a fucking rookie guy out there who's never been in a stressful situation. Basically, I don't want to send him out to fucking 35th and Marshall on his first day when he's straight out of the academy. Can we agree on that?
Yep. Number 8 is pretty important, I think.
Yeah.
And for-profit policing practices. Taxation is theft, essentially. This is a biggie. As of now, the police can legally take any money or property that they believe in some way is linked to a crime. Right. So look, and remember we had that news article a while back. I guess they took it out or whatever, but they had the smart chip scanners. They can. Oh, you got $4,000 in your bank account, dude. And you're driving this beat up piece of shit. Nah, something's wrong. Give me that.
Can't disagree with that.
Number 9, here's another big one. End the police use of military equipment.
You and I have been talking about this for like, what, 15 years now? Ever since the fucking Patriot Act. The Patriot Act is where all of this nonsense starts. They've been, like, the federal government has been giving grants to state and local governments to buy military-grade equipment. That's why you see a local police office in Pittsburgh. Look it up. 2007, 2008. The University of Pittsburgh, when they unveiled LRAD on the fucking civil population.
Dude, the G8. That's what you're talking about, right? The G8. No, the one.
The G8 protests.
Yeah, that's when because they and they were hurting people and
shooting the cannons on them.
I know, man, it's crazy, dude. I remember seeing videos of it. It was insane. They're marching and they go,
yeah, every 2 seconds they would stop and hit the riot shield.
This is an unlawful assembly. Disperse immediately.
Now that right there tells me that the Black Lives Matters had permits.
No, they didn't, man. Because look, think about the climate right now, Ronnie. I mean, we're gonna find out one way or another, but I feel like they didn't have permits. Think about the climate right now. If they would have cracked down on that, dude, it would have been all shit breaking loose, dude.
Can we get to number 10 and then I'm gonna give my prediction?
Yeah, please do. Number 10.
Number 10 is they want to implement police union contracts that hold officers accountable for misconduct. So police unions have a history of protecting police.
I mean, straight up. Police officers accused of misconduct are no exception. But other members are often discouraged by their unions to speak against those accused. It's a good old boys network. Cops don't betray other cops. Can we agree on that?
Cops don't betray other cops? No, I can't agree on that because, look, you got them stepping forward in New York. Some people are just built to do the right thing, man.
I mean, yeah, but I agree with that. I can't disagree. I mean, you're always going to have exceptions to these rules, but they want more cops to do it. Because one of my things about the reason why I do support all this, and I'm like, yeah, cool, you know what? Let your community leaders get together and kind of have some say in this. Because it's like, it's an attack on the community.
That's cool, man. I'm with that. Let the community leaders get together and do that. But
because right now, and this is an important part about the unions, the unions right now, this is where the people power comes in. The police unions are very powerful. That union fund can pay for some high-priced attorneys. That union fund can dig up some dirt. Those union reps, they can get up with the judicial reps there, and they can have a good old time and become good old friends there and influence cases that are seen at what times. It's crazy how deep this entire thing goes, and what they're saying here is they want the police to chill the fuck out.
Right. And dude, I mean, I understand that they target minorities and stuff, but white people, Hispanic people, Asian people, they all get killed by the cops, man. That's the problem. Cops need to fucking chill the fuck out, man.
It
may be more skewed towards minorities. Like the thing I seen, the article from last year, the data from last year showed that over twice as many white people were killed by cops than black people, and then Hispanics were coming in at like 78 killed. But, you know, population breakdown, the ratio is close, but
those numbers can be skewed, but if you look at the entire prison system.
Right. No, look, I understand that, man. It is. You want to help that out, man? You end the war on drugs, man.
Hallelujah. We need that clip. We need that clip. And when we say something like awe-inspiring and enlightening, I mean, the war on drugs can be construed as a war on minorities. Because overwhelming minorities come out. Did you see that article that I posted the other day? Where the police in this area, the Newport News Hampton police, think that these 2 doctors being submitted are the reason for the uptick in not only heroin use, but heroin overdoses in this place. 2 doctors that were overprescribing their patients opioids. They found their other way to get their opioid fix.
Right.
That kind of shit?
I'll say that for another time. Cash for Kids, look it up. For-profit prisons are playing in that as well. Yeah, and that's true. I remember years ago, a judge actually went to jail.
Yeah, because he was selling kids.
He was selling kids because it was for-profit prisons, and they were lining his fucking pockets, and he was sending kids to fucking Jews.
We need more of that.
Yeah, we do need more prosecutions.
And you know how we get stuff like that, Donald? By coming together as a community.
He's saying in Pennsylvania. I guess that happened in Pennsylvania too.
But I'm saying, like, right now, like, and this is where I do think the Pokemon Go thing comes in. Because this thing could be a major distraction. You laugh again, but I'm bringing it up because...
Came? We saw?
Listen to me, man. It is bringing people together more than anything. Because when we're out there and we're chasing Pokemon, we don't give a shit about Hillary. We don't give a shit about Black Lives Matter. We're honestly just living. Now, here's my prediction, though. And we can talk about this for the rest of the night. There will be, in the next month, a mass shooting at one of these Pokemon spots. You will have a connection between Pokemon Go and a mass shooting. And honestly, now that I'm thinking about this scares me to not want to play this game anymore because I see the target being set up.
Oh my God, and it's kids, man.
It's going to be kids, it's going to be adults, it's going to be all of America. Because all of America is playing this game. Look around you. Old people are playing it. Young people are playing it. Kids are playing it. People my age, your age are playing it. It's the new phenomenon, dude.
I know, man.
In 24 hours, this became the #1 app on the Apple and the Google Play networks.
The day it came out, right? I'm at work. I work on cars. There's other technicians there, right? There's this one guy, he's at the brake area, and he's sitting there on his phone. And I go in there, I sit down, and he's like, telling me about the Pokemon Go.
Yeah.
Like, it just came out. Like, wow, that's crazy, man. I was just like, you know, whatever. And then he pulled up the map. He's like, look, it works with Google Maps. And he pulled up the map, and there was people playing.
Now, you can't see other people yet.
he was showing me spots at all these places.
It might have been people. That might be what the little orbs are.
Right. So he showed me the thing, and he's like, "Look, there's people playing at this dealership, this dealership." I'm like, and these are grown ass men. Most of them, a lot of them are older than me.
Yeah.
Playing Pokemon Go. I was just like, wow. And then I got home and I looked on the social media and it was just blowing up with it. I was like, oh, good lord, man.
Man, no. See, the craziest part about it, and the most interesting part about it to me is there is no guide. Like when Niantic came out with it, they just put the game out. There's no tutorial in the game itself, other than like the quick like this is how you throw a Pokeball. And then it's just like you walk around. It doesn't tell you what anything is until you like click a button, and then you click a button and you can swipe. It's the easiest fucking game in the world to get into as long as you've got a smartphone.
Right.
And I mean, it's good. The conversations that I've had with people have been just from one end, like you had a 40-year-old man who's out there with his 10-year-old son, and his 10-year-old son's running around the fort like playing the game, and he's like, I can't believe what's happening right now. He's like, there are 13 people here, like, and my son's up there on the fort wall just running around catching Pokemon. Yeah.
Sorry.
I'm saying it's gonna be crazy when like I start going around and I'm talking to people about MK Ultra or Hillary or the Clinton Foundation.
Yeah. It's a good idea.
Ask them about Snowden. I'm saying, man, we've got YouTube videos lined up for days there. We just got to go out and shoot them.
It's also a good way to get exactly pinned down you being the person spreading that information, which could be deemed extremist and terrorist at any moment.
You don't think that they haven't been listening to our show this entire time?
I'm sure they do, but that's our show. This is it.
I mean, they know who I am. They got me, man. Based on my cell phone information.
I got you, babe.
So what's the chat doing right now? What we got going on over there? I just really don't want to talk about Black Lives Matter because we both support it, but we have disagreements with some of the ways they're going about the business.
I mean, why is just because we disagree with it, we can't talk about it? I mean, that's falling into that fucking trap, man.
No, we've talked about the trap of what it is. It's a diversion right now. Is it a mere coincidence that every time something major happens in Washington, 2 days later there's some kind of like crazy shit happening? I mean, it started, I guess, in 9/11 when like everybody was looking for Chandra Levy, and they were pretty sure that senator killed her, and then $2.2 trillion fucking just misses from the budget, and then you have 9/11 happen. Fast forward to today.
So much stuff, man.
We got 15.
You want to do the ATF thing? The ATF read?
I honestly just want to talk about Pokemon Go, but I know we can't do any more of that shit.
I'm done with that.
You heard my prediction.
All right, we're going to introduce the new segment.
Yeah.
It's called Ron to the Hills Reads Above Top Secret.
All right.
Yeah, I think you might have to come over here for this, Ron.
Why?
You can see. Can you see?
No, I can read mine.
Okay.
I can keep up.
All right. Now, this guy posts on Above Top Secret. It's got 25 stars and flags, guys.
I found this while looking for any updates about Orlando.
Dallas shooter Michael Johnson attended Islamic seminary school with Orlando shooter Omar Mateen. What?
Man.
You're
going to find more.
It also ties in the guy arrested in Santa Monica the morning after Orlando massacre, as well as the guy arrested in Las Vegas for trying to grab an officer's weapon to assassinate Trump.
Yep. We forgot about him.
Oh, man. Yeah, we never talked about that, either. Johnsons share two things in common with Omar Mateen, Orlando gunman. James Wesley Howell, suspect in failed assassination attempt at Gay Pride Parade, and Michael Sanford, assassin who attempted to assassinate Donald Trump in Las Vegas, Nevada. In an exclusive interview with Marcus Dwayne Robertson, he informed us that Micah Johnson enrolled in his online Fundamental Islamic Seminary course in August of 2015. According to Fox News, the FBI has identified Robertson as a convicted bank robber and for his recruiting terrorists and inciting violence. This isn't to say that all these guys had definitely met each other and knew each other personally, but that it was possible and or probable that they had. When asked if Johnson knew either Howell, Mateen, or Sanford, Robertson said that he could not comment on their relationship with each other. However, Robertson said, many of our assignments require students to work together and complete group assignments. They would have studied together on several occasions to complete their studies. Whoa.
Yeah.
I don't know how trustworthy this website is. What I do know is that they also broke the story a few weeks back that the guy arrested in Santa Monica had turned himself into the police because he believed his life was in danger from CIA handlers. Yeah, we talked about that.
Yep.
And then his plans to attack the gay pride parade in Hollywood and attack in Orlando were part of a greater coordinated plan. Alright. So do take all with a grain of salt and a shot of tequila, but this prediction intrigued me, so perhaps maybe some indication of this website's veracity if it is confirmed shortly and vice versa. Please advise that due to the mass foobars going on right now with Homeland Security and the FBI, we are receiving conflicting information from our sources within both agencies. However, we are confident to publish that within the next week, the mainstream media will report that Johnson was previously under investigation by Homeland Security and FBI agents, and that they determined Johnson to be non-active with no explanation from either agency. For what it's worth, the source article contains several links to mainstream sources to corroborate their assertions to one extent or another.
Yeah.
Okay, here's the fun part.
What, are we going to read the comments?
Yes, sir.
Why are we going to read these comments?
Because there's good stuff in the comments sometimes. Fed should probably look into an Islamic seminary school, if it's not bigoted, non-PC, or Islamophobic, to do so.
All right, this guy was replied. If there was any reference to those things in any federal reports, they would have been removed by now.
If both of them actually went to the school, then there's no way in hell it's a coincidence, as coincidences do not exist. Assuming this is true, feds must certainly look into the school.
But it is. According to the source, the Santa Monica dude, Howell, claims that he found out that the CIA was involved in this school.
Can't possibly imagine what assignments they could have been working on together.
Of course, no one works together. It's always a lone wolf.
Ha ha ha! Yeah, let's fabricate the link if there isn't one. Oh, hell, the internet, where any damn fool can say anything to start any wild rumor anytime.
Dallas shooter Micah Johnson attended Islamic seminary school with Orlando shooter Omar Mateen. Anecdotal evidence at best. I am passing this train, but that's just me. Others, feel free.
First I heard. Can you or anyone explain the connection to the CIA?
Here's your link to Islam Mateen. Where is it? It's down there somewhere. Gurgle, gurgle. Let me take another look. It's easy to blame Islam for anything. We've been conditioned to do it.
Just to clarify for everyone's sake, this online school terrorism link has been investigated and established by the feds. Orlando gunmen tried to radical imam release from prison last year, say law enforcement sources. But the Dallas Killers association with the online school has not been publicly established, and the OP source is asserting that it will be soon.
OP beats original post. Marcus DeWade Robertson, Omar Mateed's possible teacher. 5 fast facts you need to know. Smiley face, smiley face.
Chopping links on the bomb.
Bam.
I see very little concrete associations between what is claimed in the OP article. In fact, the article in the OP claims a lot of things, but with little evidence except links to articles. Articles that don't provide evidence or connections for said claims.
Definitely. I'm not ready to believe it or disbelieve it. Wouldn't surprise me one way or another, but I just don't know. I'm actually more curious about this website and its sources and inside information. I'll be watching to see if this is confirmed. Or not. It will tell me about how much trustworthy the site is going forward.
I wonder if they can connect the San Bernardino shooters to this online school.
Has anybody been able to locate the Islamic seminary school?
I wouldn't be inclined to think not, because they came from the Middle East, so they probably would have had Middle Eastern connections. But if they are, the inferences, implications would sure be something to ponder.
Link.
Out.
Timbuktu.edu.
Next page. Next page. Hold on, let's look at the YouTube chat and make sure we're not yelling at us.
For your information, the last Islamophobic source I'm going to believe is the press release from law enforcement or the government. I'll wait for an independent review. It's not that important to be the first or declare or the loudest voice to declare they have the inside scoop. Too much of that is going on these days.
Whoa.
What? What's going on with YouTube chats?
So what do we think about this, man?
Man, at this point, I don't know. We talked about this.
This is what it's like, man. Could you imagine just someone just like stumbling into this world and like opening this up and reading this and all these comments?
They
just
was
being like, what the fuck?
I mean, we just. Can you imagine somebody listening to this show for the first time and us doing that? God, man.
It's crazy, man.
It's
man.
We talked about this though, man. Remember a few weeks back when I said I believe we're becoming prophets and what we talked about is happening?
Yeah, I don't believe you.
You don't, because you don't believe anything I say.
No.
Because you think I'm a statist.
I don't believe anything anyone says, dude.
You fucking volunteerist. I don't even know what that means.
Man, look, I don't know. That's stupid. All right, let's move on.
What's stupid? I like reading those comments. What is YouTube saying about that? How y'all feeling about that new segment?
Yeah, how you guys like that? Chin Pokemon. I don't think they really care. All right, so look.
Hey, Roland, are you playing Pokemon Go?
While I got you here, all right, I've dug up some pretty cool shit. Different things. Ancient machine used to protect Great Pyramid Pharaoh in his afterlife. Reveal.
Wait. Is this a robot?
No.
This motherfucker was building mechs?
Both in life and in the afterlife, protection was essential for the pharaohs. Fuck everybody else. An Egyptologist studying Giza for the last 30 years says that the devices were put in place at the Great Pyramid in an attempt to protect the tomb of Khufu. The series of grooves and blocks has been described as a primitive machine. The security system is the subject of a special episode of the Science Channel's Unearthed program, which is airing at 10 p.m. EST on July 12th, yesterday. Okay. Live Science describes the means of protection as a series of grooves and blocks that are hidden beneath the walls of the pyramid. They write that scholars have known about the system since at least the 19th century. Really? However, the TV show uses computer animations to present a reconstruction. The animations show how blocks were dropped down grooves near the king's chamber at the pharaoh burial. Egyptologist Mark Leaner adds to the Ancient Egypt Research Associates and describes the mechanisms in more detail for those who want to watch the episode. It has been calculated that the Pyramid of Cheops, commonly known as the Great Pyramid, and also called the Pyramid of Khufu, is comprised of more than 2 million limestone blocks weighing 2 to 70 tons. It's the only Giza pyramid that has air shafts. The pyramid was built with such precision that it has been said to be difficult to replicate it even with today's technology. Along with the security-enhanced King's Chambers, the Great Pyramid has 2 other large chambers, which are known as the Queen's Chamber and the Subterranean Chamber.
Wait a minute. So are we thinking like Indiana Jones style, like protection, like it's basically like simplified machines, like, oh, you stand in this spot and like spikes come out?
I think it's like some kind of spiritual thing, like it's the way the blocks were aligned or something. I guess maybe it was a material that they're made out of.
This is
crazy. Dude, I don't believe that that pyramid in particular was a burial. I mean, I guess it could have been.
Do you think it was?
They never found anything.
Storage for grain.
Mainstream archaeology accepts that the pyramid was built around 2500 BC and commissioned by King Khufu for his tomb. However, much controversy surrounds these conclusions. For example, German archaeologists in 2013 argued that the Great Pyramid is much older and served a different purpose, which a lot of other people have been arguing that for a long time. Returning to the security system, Leaner told Live Science that the contraption was sophisticated for its time and noted how the blocks would have made an entrance in the king's chamber more difficult for would-be thieves. Nonetheless, theft did happen at the site. Okay, so they're just like interlocking door blocks or something.
Oh, so it would lock you in there.
According to Live Science, all that remains of what is generally believed to have been Khufu's burial is a red granite sarcophagus. The chamber was probably already robbed of its contents sometime between the end of Khufu's reign and the collapse of the Old Kingdom. Alright, yeah. So, yeah, it's pretty interesting. It's what's interesting to me is that they knew about it for so long and no one really ever talked about that.
Yeah, but I mean,
I had
that's,
no clue about that.
That goes to show you, like, there's so much stuff like that we're going to learn in our lives. And I think one of the most interesting things there is, like, we hadn't fully explored what those pyramids exactly were.
Now, here's another one that's pretty interesting to do with pyramids. Great Pyramid of Giza was lopsided due to construction error. So this totally just shatters everybody's thing about how perfect it is.
Dude, Pharaoh Trump built these.
So research carried out by engineer Glenn Dash and the Egyptologist Mark Leaner has revealed that the Great Pyramid of Giza is not as perfect as once believed. So this is the same guy, and I guess this is a result of these scans he just did. Results of testing showing that its base was built lopsided. So I'm going to leave it at that so we can hop on to something else right fast. Man, there was a lot of cool stuff that I found. I'll just tell it to you guys next week.
Yeah, we're running out of time here on Round to the Hills, baby.
We're up on the top.
Yep. So look, guys, if you can take anything away from this episode, just take away the fact that we need to be digging into the Clinton Foundation. Fuck the emails, fuck the Fuck the FBI. Comey's in on it. We need to figure out that network.
And for those of you who were wondering what the space pope has to do with this, it has to do with that people will fucking believe anything.
Yep. People believe that Donald Trump isn't a part of the Hillary Clinton network.
Yeah, they believe that
he's donated money.
He's the loose cannon that's gonna set everything right. He's a fucking douchebag, just like the rest of them.
Yep. Man, that's crazy. Like, I didn't even think about. We never talked about his assassin or would-be assassin, and we need to get into that because I feel like he's a part of this puzzle too that we're not seeing.
All right, the last 2 minutes, I just want to give a quick breakdown of some of the more interesting things I found. 1,600-year-old elongated skull with stone-encrusted teeth found in Mexico ruins.
What?
Yep. 1,600 years ago, man.
1,600 years.
Right. 4,300-year-old Stonehenge-year-old Woodhenge in Germany revealed to the public for the first time. Just so you know, it was rebuilt. It wasn't like, oh, look, we're going to keep this secret. Dead Sea Scrolls reveal that Noah's Ark was shaped like a pyramid. Whoa, that dude that just built that theme park is going to be pissed.
Yeah. But, I mean, honestly, like, when you think about it, that's another use for those pyramids. Yeah.
This one is great right here. This guy in Canada, right? He gets some NORAD stuff on UFOs, and he just releases them, and he's like, "Fuck you." Canadian UFO researchers released nearly a dozen NORAD documents pertaining to unidentified flying objects, and dared the agency to arrest them. Speaking at the Alien Cosmic Expo in Ontario for the weekend, Victor Vajani said 11 pages of material which he obtained from NORAD via Canada's FOIA. The documents contain insights into the defense agency's tracking of suspicious objects in the atmosphere, dubbed by NORAD as tracks of interest. So yeah, he released a bunch of shit. Was like, "Fuck y'all, come get me."
Just in full disclosure, man.
Hey, this goes back to the hacker, man. They don't want it to come out in court.
Yeah.
That's it for us.
All right.
We'll see you next time, guys.
On to the hills, baby.
If it ever goes off, but it won't until we do it.
No, we're just going to keep talking. We're going to keep going here. We love you guys. Thanks for listening.